What up with everybody? What up, every, every, everybody? Welcome, everybody. Burn live, y'all. Mer, mer, burn live. Mer Wankley keeping y'all connected. Hashtagging each red eye, changing the viewers' eye red. Keeping underage smoking off social media. Killing ourselves, or killing myself for your entertainment. Sitting here with friends and family, starting a cannabisation. Good morning, good afternoon, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're catching this live. I highly appreciate everybody stopping through, coming through, checking out the live podcast or the live stream or whenever you're catching this out. We're marijuana talking about news, politics, and things that go on in everyday life and social media. We try to cover the real big important things.
You been tripping on them hoes.
So you know what I'm saying? That's what we try to do over here. I appreciate people stopping through, leaving their comments. A lot of people say they're gonna come leave their comments and they'll be back. Oh man, I'll be there. I'll be at your show. I told them. I was like, yep, it's gonna be a minute before we see you. You know what I'm saying? But that's what's up. You know what I'm saying? I'm always going live for an hour, giving you the fun, but you can always see my past shows, my future shows, and whatever shows. You can hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that share button. I highly appreciate it. What's up, everybody? Yet again, it's getting down to the nitty gritty of election. You know what I'm saying? Once this year over with and New Year started, everybody's election, everybody's still trying to pick out what stories they want to go by, what stories they want to listen to, who's right, who's wrong. A lot of people are voicing their opinions. You're getting a lot more of what voicing your opinion news coverage that's going on and stuff like that. Also, you got stadium. I mean, it's just so much. So we really just gonna try to sit here and just cover up a lot of news, go over a lot of news. Please leave a comment somewhere in the middle of the show, somewhere. Hopefully, I might start some things and leave us a tip and do giveaways. I do got giveaways. I do giveaways. Actually, I kind of want to give out a giveaway soon. So I noticed how I've been doing it, and now I'm gonna try to definitely make sure when I be doing my little shows is the fact that to bring different stories from different groups. That's one of my main things to do. I'll start one of these stories out like these.
We begin with the violent protests outside a school board meeting in Glendale, California, when masked activists clashed with parents opposed to how the district is teaching gender and sexuality.
Hold up.
Whoa. Now, the school board meeting was about making June Pride Month, which board members unanimously approved late in the evening. And as the brawl unraveled, several parents raised concerns about the school's transgender policies and that their children were being introduced to subject matters that they simply were not ready for.
Did she just say make school Pride bus for the month of June?
Pride Month, which board members unanimously approved late in the evening. And as the brawl unraveled, Now, the school board meeting was about making June Pride Month, which board members unanimously approved late in the evening. And as the brawl unraveled, several parents raised concerns about the school's transgender policies and that their children were being introduced to subject matters that they simply were not ready for.
They need to stop asking little children what they sexually identify as. Children are not sexual beings, nor should they be. The sexualization of children is pedophilia. Nothing more, nothing less.
I think it's really important to be here to stand up for all children and not be exclusive. We are an inclusive community. I'm a Christian. I go to an inclusive church. I believe in God, and God loves all.
I'm completely against the law that they're trying to pass to teach little kids in the school, 6 years old, to decide about sexual things. They don't even know what's going on.
Teaching a 6-year-old about sexuality. I mean, this should be common sense. But if you feel similar to those parents and you want to say in your child, you might get put on a hate group list. The far-left Southern Poverty Law Center has added multiple parents' rights organizations, labeling them as hate and anti-government groups akin to neo-Nazis and the Ku Klux Klan, including Moms of Liberty. The SPLC's statement on the designation reads, quote, "At the forefront of this mobilization is Moms for Liberty, a Florida-based group with vast connections to the GOP that this year the SPLC designated as an extremist group. They can be spotted at school board meetings across the country wearing shirts and carrying signs that declare, 'We do not co-parent with the government.'" The group hijacks meetings, preventing officials and parents from conducting their normal proceedings. We'll get to that hogwash in just a moment, Kennedy. But let's start with Glendale, California. You know, this meeting was about making LGBT month something in the school, but it was about much more than that, as the parents noted. One parent said, "My daughter is afraid to change in the locker room because she knows another guy could come into the room. When I asked the principal, he told me there were no cross-gender bathroom policies." Another Daily Signal excerpt on this. Additional documents revealed that Glendale staff have attempted to incorporate LGBTQ plus materials and ideology into curriculum. One assistant principal even told staff to teach children that every person is by default queer and socialist. This is about more than a month. It's about parents' rights.
I think they need to.
Every kid is queer. Y'all, some things that we watch and some things that come across this today still freaking amazes me. And I'm like, how can we allow this? But yet again, we allow this. We still allow this shenanigans to go on like this. And this is, I be trying to point at this. This right here is what we allow. We can't keep allowing this to go on like this, y'all. We can't. I've had to change my intro up to keep it social media, keeping kids from getting groomed too. That's got to be another.
To read some Adam Smith, and they'll know that by default, according to natural law, we're actually natural capitalists. And every society that has existed in history has bared that out. This is a very convenient shield for them, because if they are engaged in this front of the culture war, they don't have to worry about math and reading tests. And I will tell you, you know, you're a parent. Kids talk about a lot of stuff. There are trends in behavior and attitudes, and there are stupid challenges on TikTok. They also talk a lot about gender identity. They don't talk about algebra, oddly enough. They don't talk about reading and learning different languages.
Different languages. We were the poorest country when it comes to different languages and learning them and speaking them. We one of the poorest. Ooh, this blunt right here, y'all. I forgot to say my one intro. Hope you brought your weed, your joints, and your blunts. Let's blaze this shit. It's so amazing. Ooh-wee. This almost tastes dispensary. Oh, shit. That's messed up. The first two things you see is Trump. They still talking about Tim Scott. Everybody's going to put their 2 cents in. Let's go to this. Let's go to ABC. Y'all, like I said, when I start doing these shows, I am going to start switching them up.
The dangerous air quality for millions of Americans. 13 states are on alert. as we deal with that wildfire smoke from Canada. We're going to be tracking where it's headed and what it means for our health. But first, Trevor Ault starts us off in New Jersey. Good morning, Trevor.
Good morning, Robin. It is going to be an alarmingly hazy day for tens of millions of Americans. What's usually a gorgeous view from this vantage point of Manhattan is completely shrouded in all of this smoke. And New York City right now has some of the worst air quality of any major city in the world. And the smoke stretches so far that even Detroit is also up near the top of the list. All of this, the remnants of hundreds of Canadian wildfires that continues to drift further into the United States. This morning, wildfire smoke blanketing the skies for millions of Americans.
There's the red sun again.
National Weather Service issuing air quality alerts all over the Northeast, stretching west to Ohio and even as far south as the Carolinas and Georgia.
It's very strange. I got up out of the subway and it looked like a zombie apocalypse.
Overnight, New York City's air quality registering as the worst of any major city worldwide.
It's kind of got a yellowy haze to it.
Millions of phones getting alerts like these. The city's air quality index peaking above 200, a level considered very unhealthy, particularly for the elderly and those with respiratory issues.
You smell it and feel it, yeah.
The immediate health risks are worsening of asthma and worsening of allergies. This is actually probably the worst I've seen the numbers.
Sports, recess, and outside play canceled for millions of children across the region.
I woke up this morning and went outside, and it was very strange and just sort of an eerie feeling.
Officials say the cause, wildfires in Canada. 10,000 miles of Canadian land has been scorched so far this fire season, an area larger than the state of Vermont. 26,000 people evacuating from their homes.
Across the country, there are currently 413 wildfires burning, and 249 of those fires are deemed out of control.
And of course, all this smoke contains very tiny particles that can get into your lungs and even into your bloodstream. And while it's not an immediate gross concern for the general public, experts do say if you're trying to protect yourself, we all have masks now, you would need a respirator-grade mask, stronger than an N95, to work in these conditions. So if you are vulnerable, elderly people, pregnant women, you all should consider maybe staying inside. Rebecca?
Important precautions, Trevor, and we'll have more from our chief medical correspondent, Dr. Jen Ashton, in just a moment. But we want to turn now to our chief meteorologist, Ginger, in Georgia. And Ginger, how long do you expect this to last, and where does it head next?
Rebecca, we've been in this stuck pattern now for almost a week or more, the United States in general. But this low pressure system that's bringing in the winds that are bringing that type of
They had the same type of thing happen during the pandemic on the west side, when they had forest fires that broke out around California, Oregon, and Seattle, Washington. Had it all very muggy and you couldn't breathe, and it was bad for your health. So I'm seeing some of those states up there, and I'm, looking out. Hope everybody's okay, because I was in some smoke like that. I know how it can get, how it can look, how it can feel. It's very unsafe. It's very dangerous.
smoke all the way south to here in North Georgia by later this afternoon. That is not moving until the weekend. So let me talk you through this. We spoke with NASA scientists who said that EPA has been tracking this type of air quality from smoke from wildfires since 1999. This will likely rival and probably surpass the worst, which was back in 2002. You saw all those air quality alerts from South Carolina up to New Hampshire and Vermont, but look where the worst of it is this morning, west of Philadelphia into Delaware. Watch the smoke plume as we put the forecast on here, and watch for the deep, dark red and purple colors. That low pressure system swirling counterclockwise, George, going to bring in that orange and red down to Atlanta and even Huntsville by this afternoon, really thick up through the weekend. We're going to clear it out by early next week.
Okay, Ginger, thanks very much. Let's bring in Dr. Jen right now. We heard Trevor there talk about the risk. Break that down.
Yeah, I think the key thing here, George, is that we usually say, oh, you know, if people have underlying respiratory or pulmonary conditions, they're most at risk. While that is true, I want to be clear here. we are all at risk. This is fine particulate matter. You cannot necessarily see it in the air, but you can feel it. And this can come on suddenly, masquerading almost like seasonal allergy symptoms or even an upper respiratory infection. But we know there's a situation. So assume we are all at risk. And obviously, things that you can do, reduce or avoid going outdoors, really, unless it's necessary, because these fine particulate matter particles can get into the eyes and lungs, causing symptoms like burning eyes, runny nose. It can even precipitate bronchitis. And obviously, if you have underlying cardiovascular or respiratory conditions, you are most at risk.
But you're saying everyone.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a true environmental public health
What
issue.
other precautions can we take?
Listen, I think common sense precautions really apply here. If you have to go outside, put a mask on. Otherwise, keep your indoor air as clean as possible. Run your air conditioning if you have it. Be in touch with your healthcare provider if you have asthma. But again, N95 or KN95, the best we have right now. If you have to go out, put one on.
I know you'll be talking about a lot on GMA3
for
as
sure.
well. All right.
Yep.
Thanks so much, Jen.
You bet.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe.
I'm not supposed to be going that damn far. I'm not supposed to be going that damn far. Right, I noticed they did that to me. Like they think they slick. Like I was like, hold on, bro. Hold on, bros. That's exactly what I was looking for.
The debt ceiling issue behind us, the challenge that lies ahead is to have some semblance of a regular appropriations process. We've got the Farm Bill, important to a whole lot of my members. It's going to require a lot of bipartisan cooperation to do what we need to do. All of that leads to my major concern. Look, I supported the Biden.
Is he related to Joe Biden? He got to be an uncle, nephew. Not a nephew. They look around saying they cousins.
McCarthy deal, but I was not happy with the defense number. The defense number is totally inadequate to meet the challenges that we have in Asia, not to mention Ukraine.
Oh my God.
I'm not sure at this point how to fix it.
My bad, ladies and gentlemen. That was. Whew.
Good evening once again. I'm Stephanie Ruhle. We begin this evening's broadcast in the state of Florida, where former Trump aide Taylor Budowich testified before a Miami grand jury as part of the special counsel Jack Smith's investigation into the former president's handling of classified documents. And Budowich is very close to Donald Trump. He spent time as his spokesman before becoming the head of a Trump-aligned super PAC. So he is just as close to Trump today as he has ever been. Budowich described his grand jury appearance as, quote, fulfilling a legal obligation. He also criticized the investigation as, quote, a bogus and deeply troubling effort to get Donald Trump. It comes just one day after the New York Times reported former Trump Chief of Staff Mark Meadows testified in Jack Smith's investigations, according to two people briefed on the matter. We also found out dozens of Secret Service agents have been subpoenaed or appeared before the Washington grand jury in the classified documents investigation. Here's how former federal prosecutor and member of Trump's legal team during his first impeachment, Robert Ray, summed a whole lot of these things up.
Typically in independent counsel investigations that I'm familiar with, when you bring the Secret Service in, you're bringing people in who are the eyes and ears of what's happening around a president or a former president, because they're in the best position to know. So those are the loose ends that are tied up. They're tied up to prepare a case for trial. So it suggests that Jack Smith is serious. And then it's just a question of trying to sort out, as you have just done, is this a case that's likely to be brought in D.C. or one brought in Florida?
People familiar with the matter tell the Washington Post that the DOJ is planning to bring a significant portion of any charges in the classified documents case in South Florida. NBC News reports Trump's attorneys were told at Monday's meeting with DOJ prosecutors that Trump, in fact, is a target of the classified documents investigation, according to two sources briefed on.
They're gonna drag this on and 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 on. On and on and on and on and on. Yeah, they're gonna keep dragging that shit on and on, bros. On and on, bros. I mean, for real. Y'all see it just as well I see they is not letting up. Mike Pence finally announced that he's running for president yet. Is this it? I just want to hear how
KCCI chief political reporter Amanda Rooker spoke with Pence one-on-one today. He points out the key differences between himself and the former commander-in-chief.
Now an official candidate, the former vice president is hoping to sway Iowans handshake by handshake the Hawkeye way. Pence's pitch for the presidency resonates with Iowa Republican Keith Cavanis.
I didn't bring a handkerchief with me and I cried through his whole message. So
What moved you emotionally?
just this story and his presentation of who I am and who we should be.
Pence's speech also came with several swipes at Donald Trump. Once Pence's former boss, now his political rival.
Anyone who puts themselves over the Constitution should never be president of the United States.
Why was it important to you to take on Donald Trump and January 6th in that speech?
Well, I think it's time. I had no right to overturn the election, but the fact that the president has continued to say that even in the last week on the national stage, I thought it was important today to set the record straight. I said, Donald Trump was wrong then, he's wrong now. And I truly do believe that we kept faith with the Constitution.
Some Pence supporters say they're eager to hear the former vice president take on Trump.
If you go for the king, you better not miss. I mean, I'm glad to hear him say his name because you can't run against your opponents if you're not brave enough to say his name. So I was glad to hear him.
Pence says he'll continue to draw a contrast with the former president on foreign policy, the economy, and abortion.
I see the former president.
So that's a shame. This right here is a shame that the Democratic Party is not doing this. This is what the Democrats is missing out on. The getting the rouse of the youth and the old and the citizens, everybody, anybody. You know, what do the Democratic Party got to get loud and, hey, this is going on and this is what we're looking at? Nothing at all. I think that's sad. I'm gonna state, I believe this is sad that there's nobody. I mean, there's nobody up here going against and like, man, fuck it, I'm just gonna throw myself in there. I know they said there was nobody gonna run, but fuck it. Trump campaign released new ad.
Here's a question for you. Just how far are the radical left and inside the Beltway bandits willing to go to stop him? We all know they hate him for winning the fight to protect life, for exposing their deep state, for draining their precious swamp. And they already know he'll crush Biden. So like a pack of rabid wolves, they attack. So let's impeach him. Let's get tainted radical left prosecutors to charge him. Let's conspire with Hillary and the FBI with fake stories about him. All to distract from Biden's incompetence, weakness, and money-grabbing corruption. But here's the thing, he'll never blink. That's called having the courage of your convictions. And it's why he's our president.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Okay, that was no bullshit, y'all. You can hate on it all you want. That was not bad. That was pretty good. That was right to the point. But where is he at? Let's y'all know I gotta can't end the show without hearing this guy say anything. Oh, not the long one. They in Florida, y'all. Same little group.
How's everybody doing?
Yeah.
How's the great state of Iowa? It is always good to be back here.
So now that's crazy. They gonna talk about him. Where do you cut in at? Y'all let him talk. What? They let him talk. So this is a Tim Scott Ford remark. Okay.
I know that you'll be able to see me better up there, but I'm hard to miss sometimes. So I thought it was funny too. How's everybody doing? It is so good to be with your Senator Joni Ernst and the Roast and Ride again. God bless Joni Ernst. I will also say my first trip to Iowa in 2015 was to support Chuck Grassley in his reelection. That is a powerful force for good. I love Chuck Grassley. And when I came in today, this is what he did. He said, son, that meant me. He said, look at my socks. He pulled his pants up and he was wearing my socks today. So let's give it up for Chuck Grassley with good taste in socks. Now, my socks said hogwash on them. When I think about hogwash, it just makes me think about The View. Anybody watch The View on TV? Good, good. I am in the right place. I'm going on The View on Monday because I think it's time for a conservative.
This is before he went on The View. That wasn't so weird. That was not so before me.
Right now on 5 on Your Side at 10.
Air quality problems and the need for more rain have many talking tonight. The changes coming this weekend that will help ease the expanding drought conditions.
Missouri's governor signs off on a ban on transgender health care and sports participation for minors. Tonight, the options for trans youth in the Show Me State. First tonight, Lake St. Louis police say this man sexually assaulted a juvenile multiple times. And investigators fear he met more victims online.
Got to be really careful about what you put out in the social media, because whatever you put out never disappears.
Tonight, police are encouraging those victims to come forward. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Bush. Ann Allred has the night off. 5 on Your Side's Laura Barczewski joins us now with more on how investigators believe the suspect lured and trapped his victims. Laura.
Mike, police believe Enrique White was using several different aliases to meet people on several different dating apps. And they say his deceit and his crimes didn't end there. Lake St. Louis police say they received a report on Saturday detailing multiple sexual assaults involving a juvenile. Detectives say they believe 28-year-old Enrique White contacted the victim through a dating app under a different name, possibly used alcohol or drugs to incapacitate them, threatened them with a weapon, all before sexually assaulting them. Personal security consultant Mike Barberi says online dating can be very dangerous.
Some of our clients that have problems with online daters have been stalked. People have shown up at their place of employment. One lady in particular was roofied and woke up the next day, didn't even know what had happened, found out that her pictures were all over the internet.
Police say White was using dating apps like Plenty of Fish, Meet Me, and BLK to contact victims. Only one person has come forward, but they believe there could be more. Barberi says people have to be very careful when meeting dates online.
One of the things you don't want to do is to meet that person at his house or in his apartment or any other place. If you're going to meet the person, you should meet that person in a public area. You should drive yourself.
He says it's also a good idea to be discreet about personal information and even the pictures on dating profiles.
Never share any personal details about yourself. Never share. Probably it's a good idea never to use your last name. Probably a good idea never to tell anybody where you work, what kind of car you drive, where you live, your telephone number. All these things really shouldn't be part of your profile.
Barberi says it can be very hard for law enforcement to track down predators from online dating sites, especially if they use an alias.
It's extremely hard to find out unless you, somehow get this guy's real name or you get his license plate. And then you give it to us and we can run the plate and we can find out exactly who this guy really is.
White is facing several sexual assault related charges, including rape, sexual abuse, and child molestation. Again, Lake St. Louis police think there could be more victims. They asked them or anyone else with information to call them at 636-625-8018. Mike.
Thanks. New information tonight into a major case squad investigation of a deadly home invasion in Ferguson. The victim has been identified as Darian Williams. Investigators say early Sunday morning, a group broke into his home on Knollstone Drive looking for money. Williams was found shot to death outside his home. Police have not identified any suspects. If you have any information, you can call Crime Stoppers at 866-371-TIPS, and you can remain anonymous. Tonight, police are still looking for the person who shot and killed a man outside a Soulard nightclub. It's a business police call a problem. Robert Townsend has neighborhood reaction. He joins us live from outside St. Louis Police Headquarters. Robert.
Mike, the Soulard Sports Bar is now on the radars of police and the city. People at nearby businesses are also now on alert. It's been an unsettling day for Billy Barnett at J Gravity Strings Guitar Shop in Soulard.
Oh, wow, that's a place right next door.
His mind not really on his music, but a murder that happened across the street outside Bottom Line Sports Bar and Grill on South 7th Street.
Not surprising. Just nothing really good happens after 12 o'clock down here anymore.
Police say shortly after 12:30 Wednesday morning, a violent crime happened.
The park ranger was hearing the gunfire.
The ranger went to the nightclub and found Jamal Perkins dead. Police say Perkins had been shot multiple times. It happened across the street from the popular Soulard Market.
It's my understanding that this incident took place on the parking lot and wasn't inside of the establishment.
There was a person, the guy shot not too long ago, earlier this year down that way. But on the most part, this is a pretty safe and kind of everybody kind of looks out for each other.
The deadly shooting is the 73rd
See how close
homicide
that is
in the
to that
city
orange.
this year. This was not the first time police had been called to this sports bar and grill.
I know that they have been working with our problem properties officers as well as the problem properties unit of the building division for the city of St.
I bet you if I can just run news footage of everybody's metropolitan area that's fully ran by Democrats, I bet you all these stories are run like this. I think that's something else I'm kind of looking forward to too. But I want to see what's up with this doggone bill that's supposed to be.
Content was twice the legal limit. But on the night of the crash, Festus police told the sheriff's office there were no signs of impairment. The Festus chief is denying claims of a cover-up.
If I were trying to cover something up, why would I have contacted the Highway Patrol and asked them to come and investigate this accident?
Tonight, we're also hearing from the mother of Savannah McCreary, who died in that crash. She's left grieving for her daughter and worrying about the two young kids she left behind.
I love Colby. I feel horrible for him because he's the one that has to wake up every morning and know this is what he created. Justice needs to be served and being held accountable for your actions. Why did you get behind the wheel? You know better.
Care, have them act right away, because come August 28th, it won't happen in the Show Me State.
Was even more impactful for our community because he signed it during Pride Month.
Robert Fisher of the LGBTQ advocacy group Promo is referring.
Tonight, our Brent Solomon is here with a closer look. Brent?
Mike, today the St. Louis County Health Department sent out a health advisory saying if you know someone in Missouri who needs gender-affirming care, have them act right away, because come August 28th, it won't happen in the Show Me State.
It was even more impactful for our community because he signed it during Pride Month.
Robert Fisher of the LGBTQ advocacy group Promo is referring to two bills Governor Mike Parson signed into law Wednesday. One bans minors from getting gender-affirming care. The other blocks trans athletes from competing in sports that don't align with their biological gender.
I think the idea of trying to say,
Yeah. Okay, Missouri. Damn right. I was getting scared. I thought they, Lord, I thought they was spoon scooping. But that's what's up. That's what's
say that, hey, Missouri is not transgender friendly or that we're trying to drive people out of state is really a false narrative. What we're trying to do is protect children.
I think it is a rather silly thing to focus on.
Michael Walk of West County has a teenage transgender daughter.
She knows how much having access to gender-affirming health care has meant to her. Her emotional state has lifted so much. It's a shame that for several years now, kids will not be able to access the same health care.
Youth who are already receiving gender-affirming care before the new law kicks in can continue to do so in Missouri. Fisher says some families are packing up for other states.
And many people are leaving now. There are people that are leaving at the end of this month to protect their children.
It creates waves of anxiety for all the trans kids because even though most of them may not play sports, they feel like they are being put in the position of someone who is an outsider. And they already, a lot of them feel that way. They don't need to be made to feel more outside. They need to be included more.
Well, the new law will be in place for 4 years. Tonight, the county health department is sharing a list of resources for families affected. To find it, go to KSDK.com and click on As Seen on TV.
St. Louis City residents could soon pay more for water. Today, a board committee discussed a proposal that would raise monthly bills by $5 next month and an additional $5 per month in January. This would be the first rate increase in 13 years. Kurt Scobie, the director of public utilities, says it's needed to upgrade the city's aging infrastructure and for day-to-day operations. He says the proposal was in the works before last month's water main break that flooded I-64 in Dogtown.
The timing was good. It's a discussion that had been going.
Yeah, it's a problem. See, stuff like that is a problem in America when you taxing for water. Water. Damn, man. I'm gonna start spitting my saliva in the cup and put it in the refrigerator and save it. You can't tax me for my own spit. Damn. Shit. I'm gonna find a way to boil that shit, and I don't know. I'm just saying, y'all. I'm just trying to, purify it. Find some way to make my own water. Hell. And be like that commercial. I don't care. I'm take my own pee and put it in the thing and boil it. I don't give a shit.
That's how you do it. You take your pee, boil it.
I know. I know everybody like, you're disgusting. Nasty. You're trifling sack son of a.
That's how you get nutrients back in your body, and that's how you keep yourself hydrated so you don't die. You can survive at least 3 weeks on just water.
Let's go see what this Nevada
today, which will commit us to these tax abatement programs. I'm looking at is, okay, why are they leaving Oakland? Okay, there's been a strong relationship there for decades. Now the whole area is apparently going downhill. Mr. Fisher has been criticized for not putting enough dollars back into the stadium or his own team, and now he's going to relocate. And basically, the commitment that they had to the community that undoubtedly at one time was strong is going away. And one of the selling points you're presenting to us today is that the Oakland A's are going to come here and be the Las Vegas A's and have a strong commitment to the community. But I have this sensation that they're abandoning a community that they undoubtedly made very similar commitments to in the past. Now, obviously, I apologize because you can't answer those questions because you're only dealing with the the Nevada side of it. But from my perspective as a legislator, I want to see, because if this happens, this is a 30-year tax arrangement and thing. I mean, somebody, I'll be dead in 30 years more than likely. So, but I want to make sure that the decisions we make today, which will commit us to these tax abatement programs and so forth, are going to be honored down the road. And I'm looking at the track record of the Oakland A's and Mr. Fisher.
Senator Hanson, Steve Hill. Just to be clear, the A's have been in Oakland since the late 60s. They've had over 50-year run in that city. And obviously the stadium issues that they've had.
Here's this It's going to be a lot of and and I hate
Raiders have caused them to look elsewhere and choose Las Vegas. The way this legislation is written, if they leave inside of that 30-year commitment, they have to pay off all the outstanding bonds in order to do so. If they leave, we will have a baseball stadium that in the majority, the A's have paid for, and they will have paid off all the bonds that are outstanding.
Very good. Thank you. Let's go to a Nevada question then. I'm sorry. I probably chased you down some areas that you.
They still trying to see if they're going to get a stadium here in Las Vegas, ladies and gentlemen. It's interesting, not interesting. Oh, Lord. Bud Light does it again. What they do?
All right, everyone. So it's Friday night. I'm getting ready to go out. I'm feeling kind. But before I go out, I got to pregame. And the only way I pregame is with an ice cold Bud Light. So good.
What in the?
That's not a real commercial.
It is a real commercial. It's a fake voice, though.
That's not a real commercial.
$200 if you have it. $200 be section. Let's get into this video. I don't know what Bud Light and Anheuser-Busch is doing, but we need to run it up. When I say run it up, we need to shut it down. I know it's a conundrum, or run it up and shut it down at the same time. But I was getting ready to make another video, and then I saw this. Bud Light is hosting. I don't know. It's just presented by Bud Light on the flyer. If this is a fake flyer, forgive me. It looks legitimate and real to me. I may need to scan this code. While I'm looking at it, I'm gonna scan this code and see if this is a real code. Yep, Orpheum, which is a place here. And let's see if the Pride Month thing is on here. There you go, right here, right here. You see it on my phone, right there. So it is a real flyer. That thing goes to Pride Day. Pride in the Pines, Saturday, June the 17th from 9 p.m. Now look on the flyer. This is what it says on the flyer. Of all ages, you can't see it there, but you can do the QR code. It says all ages at the event. Under 16 requires guardian. Why do they require a guardian for a person under 16 if this is a friendly event? Now, my thing is this. I don't care what you present, and you dumb enough to take your own kids to this stupid stuff. But here's the other side of this. Debauchery is debauchery. And we should be standing up against this. There's no reason for them to be doing this. I would go out and protest and shut it down.
They're going to shut that down. June 17th. The day after June 16th, Can black people say that's racist? That's racist. You're going to do something. I don't know. I'm so confused and don't know what to say. I hope June 17th I can do a report and say, y'all remember that Bud Light party after party. They got the nerve, the audacity of these people, I'm just gonna let him.
But I'm gonna be in New York at this time when they're doing this, so I'm not gonna be able to be there. But I encourage anybody who's tired of this mess that live in Flagstaff for you to protest peacefully. Protest this stuff. You don't need to be doing this stuff in front of kids. At least let your voice be heard peacefully with a sign that says we don't agree with this. That's it. You ain't got to be crazy. You ain't got to hurt nobody. Just show that Bud Light is still doing the same shenanigans that they've been doing and say, we don't support that. That's all. You don't need to do nothing crazy. Just show that we don't support that. As much as they want to pump this pride stuff, we can say we are not supporting this. This is too much. They're doing too much. This is sexual abuse of children. Children under 18 should not be able to go to an event like this where you got these fools dressing like women being sexually provocative. You can't say that they're not. Look at this dude. He in lingerie. Now just imagine if this was a strip show where these were actual women.
Yep. Stop. Yep, I know. I'm done. I know. I'm done too. That's disgusting. Well, y'all voted for it. They need gender. We are letting pharmaceuticals, we are letting people that want to treat people like lab rats and get away with testing. That's all this is letting people test on who want to test on. You want to test on my body? Let me test on your body. You want a boob job? Hey, I trade you a boob job and you give me I give you a right balls. I give you a left balls, you give me a big ass nipple. You don't want some nipple, you get some hair. You know what I'm saying? You don't want some hair, you want some big ass. You want some big ass, you want some big lips. I hear all this time my big ass lips have just been in the way. I'm just saying, it's just people just want to operate. I think not to be funny, not to be just saying, but it just like, bruh, everybody wants to be a mad scientist, but damn, don't mean you involve the kids. Just work on the adults. Or I was about to say monkeys, but I just think animal people have been like, no, he wants to kill all the animals. I was like, woman, I was just joking. But it slipped out like a serious comment, but it was a joke. Sorry. Oops. Well, look like the Nuggets beat Miami 4 hours ago. Let me see if I can go back into the news, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, is he really on her?
All right, big news out of the sports world tonight. The PGA Tour announced a merger with the rival Live Golf Tour, which is funded by the Saudi Sovereign Wealth Fund. Now, Live Golf has been luring some of the world's best golfers away from the PGA with extremely lucrative contracts. News of that merger came to a surprise to many, but not former President Donald Trump. He actually predicted that this would happen about 11 months ago. And for his part, President Biden had no comment on the deal other than a joke about joining the PGA Tour himself. Now, I would tell Joe, you might want to keep your day job because you like to sleep a lot. I don't really want that either. But anyway, amid Biden's mental and physical struggles, there are now growing calls for him to step aside. Our friend Stephen A. Smith, host of the Stephen A. Smith Show podcast, of which I have been a guest, is the latest to call for change at the White House. He joins us right now. Sir, how are you? I'll tell you what,
What's going on, man? Nice to see you. You got a nice haircut, too.
Thank you. I appreciate you're noticing. I will say this. When I read somebody else, a new hire at ESPN, is being paid more than you, No, no. You are the star at ESPN. You get paid more. Period.
I'm not concerned.
What's that?
I've been treated very well, and when my time will come again, I'll be treated very well again. I am not concerned. Don't worry
All
about
right.
me. Everything's
Just
good.
know where I stand. I want you to know I'm on your side. I think you should be the highest paid. Just saying. All right. You
I'm
don't want
treated well.
Biden.
I was at the time, and I will be again. Go
You
ahead.
will. That's that's true. I have no doubt. I know you will. All right. So Biden's too old, too checked out. Get it. My staff tells me you're friends with Chris Christie. You don't want him for president, do you?
I'd rather have him for president than Donald Trump. I'll be the first to admit that. I understand that he's got a gladiatorial attitude and he's ready to combat. We know what he did to Marco Rubio in 2016 during the primaries and all of that stuff. We get all of that. I think that he's a guy that is not walking around and preaching about, rigged elections and all of this other stuff. He's about moving the country forward. I don't know whether he'll win or not. I know it's a long shot. I understand that Donald Trump's got him beat by a mile at this particular moment in time, but in the same breath, I don't think he's going to be pushed around by the former president. And I think that Chris Christie knows what he's talking about. He's highly intelligent.
Hey,
he's highly
Stephen A., the
accomplished.
guy,
Now,
if he's
whether
so
or not that's going to
intelligent-
win him, I don't know. But we'll see.
Why did he leave office with a 14% approval rating? We all remember Bridgegate, although that ended up being somewhat squishy and overruled in an appeal. But then there he is, sitting on a beach that he closed himself. One rule for him, one rule for the rest of the people in New Jersey.
Well, wait a minute. Well, first of all, that's something that I'm supposed to be bringing up. I'm surprised you're bringing that up about a conservative and a Republican candidate. Way to go for you, Sean. But at the end of the day, I'm not sitting up here trying to campaign for Chris Christie or anything. I listen, the bottom line is he's certainly not a liberal. The bottom line is this. When you look at him, and I think that, he's competent, and more importantly, he's going to be talking about issues as opposed to having us distracted with a whole bunch of nonsense that we don't need to be distracted with as a country. That's all I'm saying. Now, whether he wins, and I know it's a long shot. I know it's a very long shot, but I tell you this much, I'd vote for him before I'd vote for any of the Democratic candidates that I've seen. But that's not the same when it comes to DeSantis or Trump. But when it comes to him, I know that's what position I take. I'm a registered independent. You understand?
Right,
and that's what I would take. That's how I feel about it.
Interesting.
Why is it you see it, I see it, the world sees it?
Interesting.
That is,
I
Joe
like to
Biden
hear
is,
this.
weak,
I've been
frail, and cognitively he's out to lunch.
when I say
Why don't
pause,
Democrats just
when I say pause, I mean pause. I can't wait to have somebody to yell at about that. I just can't wait. That's why everybody's saying, like, you know what? I do not want that job. I don't want that job. I'd be like, cut. But nah, I've been hearing a lot more conservatives, blacks, Africans, Jamaicans. I've been hearing more of them on this Trump rally. Trump is a nigger. I just been hearing it more. I've been hearing it more. It's shocking to hear. I can't believe that I'm hearing this. I think he's more G than me. I think I don't have a problem with that. Isn't this, I'm not mad at nobody. But hearing this from Stephen A. Smith is shocking. This is alarming.
Admit that simple truth.
Well, because he's the candidate number one that they deem capable of beating Donald Trump, which he's already proven, whether people want to admit that or not. That's number one. Number two, and more importantly, I'm not going to sit up there and label our president in those derogatory fashions. What I will say is this. I'm not engaging in ageism.
I'm not asking for derogatory comments.
Do you
think he's a cognitive mess?
I didn't say you were.
Do you think he's a cognitive mess?
I'm not going to say he's a cognitive. I'm not going there. What I can say to you is that I think there's an abundance of people who could do better. And I hate the fact that in the year 2023 that we have a bunch of liberal candidates out there that think he's the guy. And I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you?
For being straightforward, blunt, truthful, and honest. And you can't speak the obvious that Joe Biden's a cognitive mess. Of course he's a cognitive mess.
I'm not going to label, excuse me, I'm not going to label it that way, Sean. What I'm going to tell you is this. I'm looking at him and I don't like what I see. I'm not impressed with what I've seen. I've been very concerned with what I've seen. And the fact that he's going to be 82 years of age at election time, if he were to win an election, and he'd be in the White House until he's 86 years old, I think in the year 2023, it is utterly embarrassing that the liberal side has him as their best candidate. What does it say about you when that is the best candidate that you can give the left?
What does it say about the left when you got the loudest, most blackest, influenced person on, man, he bigger. Stephen A. Let's go there. Okay. Let's go there. Stephen A. Smith is bigger than Denzel Washington. Stephen A. Smith is bigger than Charles Barkley. Okay, Stephen A. Smith is bigger than Ice Cube. Stephen A. Smith is bigger than 50 Cent. Stephen A. Smith is bigger than Bill Cosby. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to name influence black people that has a big, like, okay. Stephen A. Smith is not bigger than like Tyler Perry. Stephen A. Smith is not bigger than LeBron James. I almost want to say, but I had to honestly. You see what I'm saying? There's Stephen A. Smith is not bigger than Barack Obama. You know, no matter how Barack Obama stay out of the, you see what I'm saying? Stuff like that, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah. So when you look at who's bigger, who's not bigger, if you go there, it's just like, okay, he's bigger than a lot of people. For him, now we know who he's bigger than. Now we know who he's not bigger than. Give or take, give or take. You can honestly say and sit there and say, okay, he's publicly coming out here admitting this. Now, this is a story that I'm surprised that I haven't been seeing over my news feed, and that's why I love starting to cover this news and like starting to find stories that other people ain't covering. That's one thing you're gonna start finding here is news and coverage that other people's not covering, because another thing why I like going live, it's just multitude of news, just hit you, bing, 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 suck it up, cover it up. You know what I'm saying? All in your face, live, nasty, raw. But back to the point. Stephen A. Smith to come out here and say that the liberals, the left side, the Democrats have a problem of who they want to choose for, because nobody's picking up the slack and choosing to be running. That's what I'm saying. If I was a Democrat, and I would throw my, you know what I'm saying? What can they do to you? What can they do to you? Actually, they can. I'm just thought about it. They can do one thing. They got one thing they can do to you. Just throw the LBGTQ at you. They were like, get them, girls. Oh my God,
Get 'em, it's.
Oh shit. What if that movie is a good movie. People love it. So they'd be like it.
Dozens of them.
It'd be like it.
Going after you.
What, so it'd be It 3?
It's taking over the world.
It 2023, it 2024.
Somehow he's
It be it
survived.
it be it versus them. I'll be like, oh, you know what? That'll be the number one selling scary / non-scary / I don't know what the hell type of dramatization /
That makes me want to rewatch it though.
what's the other movie that also fit into with? I have to put it in with The Purge because it had to have a little bit of The Purge in it too.
That's too.
I'm just saying, it's a lot of them. Like they all over the world, almost all over the world. Dang, they like,
Coming in to America.
That is ridiculous. That's not a knock against Joe Biden,
it
more
took
so
a
than
little-
it's an indictment against the Democratic Party.
It took a little push. Now I got Stephen A. coming out of his shell. I was waiting for that. All right, now let me move on to Live Golf. I'm going to tell you something, and I don't like to speak, in generalities, but broadly speaking, as a country, I have found the Saudis to be dishonest and duplicitous. And I find them to be a fair weather friend of America. And when it's in their best interest to align with China, as they're currently doing, they do it. I don't like this at all. I think the PGA gave in because they thought they were going to lose, and there was too much money on the table. Thoughts?
Well, that's exactly what happened. The fact of the matter is, as far as I'm concerned, they came to their senses. And even though Jay Monahan, the PGA commissioner, said one thing months ago and completely reversed course now, I'm certainly going to applaud him for it, as I did this morning on First Take on ESPN. Here's the reality of the situation. The United States government does business with Saudi Arabia for billions of dollars. It was a $9 billion surplus for the government in 2019. They did over $138 billion in sales and goods with Saudi Arabia in the year 2019. The reality is that if the government of the United States can do business with Saudi Arabia, what on earth is wrong with individual golfers doing business with Saudi Arabia? We've got to be consistent as a nation, which is one of the things that I repeatedly argue with you about all the time, about consistency in terms of our society. If you have a problem with golfers, then have a problem with our government. If you don't have a problem with our government doing business, what on earth are you bothering golfers for? Whether it's Phil Mickelson,
I'll
it's
tell you
Brooks
what the difference
Koepka,
is.
it's Dustin Johnson, whomever. They weren't being treated right by the PGA. They want an alternative.
What happened in World War II? Didn't the U.S. align for a time with the former Soviet Union to beat Nazi Germany? That was an alliance of convenience. We still didn't like each other. I mean, if Patton had his way, would have gone right straight into the Soviet Union at that time. But we only got a second. I got to roll.
Can I retort to that?
Real quick.
Let me throw this at you. What happened to the American way in capitalism? The fact of the matter is the PGA was a monopoly. Live Golf comes along because the PGA presumably wasn't treating the golfers right. They made that case. Live Golf comes along. They throw $2 billion into the pot, and all of a sudden the PGA comes to a census and they collaborate with Live Golf. Exactly.
I'm more angry at our country. We have more energy resources than they do. And we're stupid enough. We don't produce it domestically, and we're making them rich, and we're now making Venezuela rich. Stephen A. Smith should be the highest paid ESPN commentator by far. Thank you, Stephen A. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews.
You know why he threw that subliminal message out there about Stephen A. needs to be the highest paid. Even though it's a report about somebody at ESPN, which I don't know, don't cover, don't care. But the point is for him to throw that shout out because y'all know y'all just seen a Democrat come on a Republican newscast. That's the only thing that was for that love. And I support Stephen A. Smith. You know, some people don't like him. Call him a sellout for the white man. For the white man. Whatever. We got one more in us, y'all. Let's see. Nope. They need to change this on up. Okay, let's come on over here. Oh, come over. Let's come over. Let's see.
You know, at
Hear
some
what
point
another
in my
person got to
lifetime,
say.
I would love to be in a situation where I can stop talking about this petty dispute over an e-bike that happened in New York City. However, unfortunately, the race hustlers are absolutely desperate for evil white racism. They're vindictive, and they're still trying to ruin Sarah Comrie's life, despite the fact that they are reporting facts and details that shows that the young man.
Okay. Is it me? Or when he just say race hustlers and how he speaks, it creeps you out because y'all see that skeleton in the background? Is it me?
No.
Or like everything that he says just makes it more weirder or like hard to believe, or I don't know, just I don't know. Just kind of, throwing me out there, buddy. Just, I don't know, just somebody. I'm not gonna do it, but somebody should put in the comments the skeleton. Bless you. Just tad bit just makes it a little bit uncomfortable, a little bit non-satisfactory. Just makes it look like you got something hiding in the closet. I'm just,
The 17-year-old that was involved in this case called Hassan in the video, but still trying to hide his name from the public, was 100% in the wrong. And a perfect example of this is the video put out by Rayshad Richey, backtracking and doubling down, all because he wants to cause.
And then he throws up. Not saying attention. I don't know. It looks weird. It looks weird, y'all. If y'all don't think it look weird, please put in the comments that, man, I'm tripping. You just need some rest. What you seeing is not what you think you see. I'll believe you. Trust me, I will believe you.
This pregnant physician's assistant immense pain and suffering. That's why he doxed her in the original video, because that's who Rayshad Richey is. Now, we're going to get into this. We're going to take this down. But before we do that, this video is sponsored. So let me toss it to the sponsor. Then I'll bring it back over here and we'll talk.
Nope. See, you lost me right there. Lost me right there. Lost me right there. I don't really care when you just lost me right there. Thank y'all for sticking around through that song. I like to bring you a song sometimes of joy. All right, these my boys. I like how they talk. They just talk more frequently like that. I try to hold back stuff like this, but fun is fun. I want to hear what this is.
Black guys.
Me some good laughter.
Yeah, but they're like Trump would change it up. What? I mean, you see people holding signs "Blacks for Trump." It would help if you would change up the black guys. we could have flew in a couple of events, Change it up. It's the same black guys.
It gives still precedent. There's only like 10 of us out there.
Yeah, you only have like 5 black supporters or something.
Yeah, but they wear the white shirts with the Blacks for Trump on it.
But they some patriots though.
They some patriots.
I'm just joking. Y'all some patriots.
They some patriots. But I never heard them speak.
Check out this interview with Laura Loomer.
Outside of the Four Seasons Resort in Miami on Brickell Avenue with Maurice from Blacks for Trump. So what are you doing here today outside of DeSantis' presidential announcement?
I'm here to destroy DeSantis because he's a bastard from hell. I'm here to let him know that I helped you only because Trump asked us to actually go out and help. We stopped Barbara Grant from cheating on you and Rubio and a few others, and this is how you repay Trump. Shows me that you are a traitor, no good bastard from hell. So what I'm going to do is make sure that you don't win and that everybody knows that you're a rhino Republican racist. Because those are the racists. Republicans and deplorables are not racist. The ones that make everybody look racist is you damn rhinos like you, Ronnie. So I'm against the racist rhinos for Ronnie.
Man, that was insane. Blacks for Trump, maybe sycophants for Trump. It's nothing wrong with having your favorite politician, but geez, you don't want to.
I mean, for you to
go out of your way and disparage somebody that you promoted, that Trump has promoted. Just
it looks Trump's endorsed them.
Yeah, it doesn't look genuine to me. It looks like, I don't know. It doesn't. We shouldn't do this being Republicans. We should.
I can understand you.
That nigga, he looked like he was paid off. Paid off. Like he was paid off. Paid off. No, they look for real. Nah, they look like they picked the most blackest Ku Klux Klan. They picked the blackest Ku Klux Klan members they could ever. Nah, I'm just saying. It's a joke. It's a joke. They just, I don't know. There are people who love to say the word racist. And they're whatever. Sheesh. They're tough.
You doing this to Mitt Romney?
Yeah.
But to
DeSantis?
DeSantis, I don't see it.
Yeah,
I really don't. And
he's the best Republican politician.
He was like the, what's the word I'm looking for? He's like the
boilerplate.
Yeah, he's like the boilerplate version of what a Republican should be.
Yeah.
I mean, what he did against the big pharmaceutical companies during COVID, how he
handled COVID, how he handles natural disasters in his state, how he's doing away with the gender ideology in the state, and what he's did for the Second Amendment. I mean,
what he did against Disney in his state.
Name one other Republican has did more than DeSantis, and you can't find one. You can lump all the Republicans together. No one's did more than DeSantis. No one. But Trump's did a lot too with the Supreme Court picks and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think both of them would do great as a president, honestly. But I don't know, man.
I'm gonna laugh my ass off. Trump wins the nomination, right? And he picks DeSantis as his vice president. That is going to be so funny.
Well, it's going to be uncomfortable for people who disparage them.
Yeah,
they'll be like, and then
it should make Trump feel uncomfortable.
I don't think he would do that though.
You don't think he's going to pick DeSantis?
No,
I think he's going to pick DeSantis.
You think so?
Yeah, you heard it here first, right here on Conservative Twins.
But
it's going to
No,
be
you
Trump.
didn't. You heard it.
But
No, you didn't. Yes, you did.
There's no way in hell DeSantis could get past him.
I don't think so neither.
Yeah.
But
oh, you heard it first. You heard it first here. You heard it first here. Here, right over here on Burn Live Show. You heard it first. Like, yeah. I really don't care. Because I kind of thought he would, but DeSantis look like he's really throwing his. It'll be smart. You know what I'm saying? Trump sit back, they all rally, debate against each other. You see which one of them really get their numbers up. So when it's time to go against Joe Biden, you pick the person over there with the highest numbers. You're like, yo, you my VP. Let's go against Biden. Let's go. So, I mean, yeah, that's the smart. Basically, everybody else that's running for president is basically running for vice president. Basically. Oh, what the hell? My bad.
They don't have to debate. Trump could come out and take a big shit in front of everybody. He would still get more votes than DeSantis. Yeah, you know why?
That's a bad sign, though.
No, it's not a bad sign. Trump's been persecuted. This dude's been arrested. This dude went to hell and back. They impeached him. How many times I forget? 2.
Right, I know.
I mean, come on. Everybody feels obligated to vote for Trump, even though I think DeSantis might be the better option. Like for me, I got to vote for Trump. I got to. He's got to finish what he started. I love DeSantis. I love DeSantis more than I love Trump. But when it goes up to the for the nominee, for the Republican nominee, I'm going to vote for Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to. And if you don't do it, we're gonna have a problem.
You ain't gonna tell me who I'm gonna vote for.
Oh, you vote for Trump.
You crazy as hell.
You vote for Trump.
Hey, that's up to me.
No, man. Come on, man.
No, I ain't made my decision yet. What you gonna do?
I'm just telling you, man.
What, you audition for Blacks for Trump now?
No.
You can put your little white shirt on, Blacks for Trump?
I'm just saying we have to, man. We have to. The shit he's went through,
no,
you have to. You're obligated to.
But that's how the blacks sound like when they talk about the Democrats. Doesn't this sound like the Democrats? And you gotta vote for Joe. You have no choice. You're obligated. They sound. I mean, I love listening to them because they're making those same points and they're showing you how you sound. You gotta vote, and he's right. You got it. You better vote for Trump. I like what he said. Finish what he started. Look what he started. Look what they done did to this man. Hell, I like this. Yeah.
He personifies freedom. He's a symbol.
Hey,
for it.
DeSantis for
He
freedom too.
exemplifies
He ain't
freedom.
no damn rhino.
It ain't his turn yet.
It ain't his turn yet.
Yeah, it'd be if Trump steps down or DeSantis wins the nominee for Republican, I'm gonna vote for DeSantis. I'm gonna vote for regardless who wins the nominee. But I think Trump,
Hey, it's nobody's turn. It's whoever wins. Ain't no damn turns. What is this?
I already told you DeSantis can't beat Trump.
Ain't no damn turns though. You need to use some different verbiage.
What you talking about? He ain't
no
getting
damn-
past Trump. He ain't getting past Trump. I don't care what kind of navigation system he got or how he maneuvers. There's no way he getting past Trump. Trump is unbeatable.
I came across this comment.
Who you got? You got Trump, right? Hey, what's wrong with you?
Hey, what you talking about?
Who you voting for?
I'm voting for a picture. That's what I'm voting for.
I love DeSantis, man, but I feel like if I don't vote for Trump,
okay, I get
I
it.
feel like I'm letting
America now.
I'm letting the country down.
I knew
Because
it.
without
But
Trump,
you're not letting.
shut up.
Didn't I cut him off and said? Didn't I cut off and said he letting? It feel like if you don't vote for Trump, you letting America down. On me. I'm rewinding it a little bit.
Okay, I get
I
it.
feel like I'm letting people down. I'm letting the country down. Because without
But
Trump,
you're not letting.
shut up. Without Trump, guess what? Without Trump, we don't have DeSantis.
Hey,
Y'all know that, right?
I get that.
That's why I feel obligated.
Hey, but hey, DeSantis.
Yeah. Oh, he's a two-term president.
I'm just saying, Trump got DeSantis in there. I think it helped. He only won by 30,000 votes, but DeSantis made DeSantis once he got in there.
Yeah. Trump, no, you said it wrong. Trump got DeSantis in Florida.
Yeah.
Without Trump's endorsement, he doesn't win Florida.
Okay.
But once DeSantis got into Florida, he made himself.
That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying
too.
That's all I'm saying.
That's all I'm saying too. I'm telling you, it's gonna be Trump DeSantis.
Well, I came across this comment, right? And this actually really pissed me off.
Yeah.
Because this is the comment. This woman said DeSantis just screwed himself in 2028. I'm like,
no, he's not. He's not.
No, but this is the kind of stuff I'm saying because I'm looking at both arguments, who to vote for, and I'm looking at the comments. I mean, just because he's running for president in 2024 and it's against Trump, because he's doing that and it's not his turn, you're not going to vote for him in 2028? That is batshit crazy.
Yeah. Well,
That doesn't make any
from
sense.
that point of view, they think Ron DeSantis is inconsiderate. He got you in the office. He got you in office. He got you past that homosexual closeted gay black guy.
Yeah.
You got him past him, and now you're trying to run against him. To Trump supporters, it's inconsiderate.
He's a traitor.
He's a traitor.
That's not what a traitor means. Well, I guess it doesn't make you a traitor. It just makes you ambitious.
Well, the Trump supporters, that's treason.
Man, ladies and gentlemen, we can't be letting them boys go. We got you. Listen here, if you watching my show and you voting for Joe Biden, then you ain't black. You ain't black. Hey. Nah, it doesn't matter. Look, vote for who you want to vote for. I'm just trying to bring you enough reasons to let you know why not to vote for Joe Biden. You still can vote for who you want to vote for. It's a free country. This is Burn Live, y'all. I appreciate everybody stopping through. We do this every day, Monday through Saturday. I appreciate you stopping through. Share this video out. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Until next time. Until tomorrow. Have a good night. Peace.